Hello, so Juney and I are going to demonstrate a couple of tasks that we've been working on. I want to show you one that is where I give the command or the cue first, which is sit. She sits, then I give her the yes, which marks the success, and then I offer her the food reward. So that is when something has been learned and you are able to cue the behavior happens, and then you give the treat, which is the reward. Then I'm going to go backwards a little bit and I'm going to demo me working on down, where I'm not giving, she doesn't know how to do that based on a cue yet. It is me using food as a lure to get her body to her chest to go to the ground in the down, and then I say the word while petting her, holding the treat in my hand at her nose to reinforce or to create that association that this is what down means, and I will get a reward for doing this. But I don't offer the cue first. I only offer it after I see what behavior it is that I'm looking for. The other one we're doing is leave it. It's we're really getting better at this. So I'm adding the cue as the behavior happens, and then I reward her. And this is the very beginnings of leave it. Leave it can be really chained into an automatic leave it when you're walking through a building, maybe where you might be working with your animal, or if this is pet dog training and you're out walking in the streets and there's something on the ground that they really want to look at or pick up, they will automatically leave the item on the ground because they've learned that. And if you never get to that stage, that's okay, because you offering that cue, leave it, as you approach something that you see on the ground and the dog responds to that, is just as effective. The automatic leave it is more for service dogs who are in public all the time with the people that they provide the service for. Anyway, so Juney and I are going to start and we'll just see how this goes. So I have a treat bag. I have my Karen Fryer treat bag that I'm very proud of. Being able to have something that I earned that through my training with the Karen Fryer Academy. So we're going to start with the one I mentioned. I'm not going to say it, the SIT, because this is the one that she actually can do where the command is already established, or the cue. I'm trying to switch from command to cue. My service training dogs, we use the word command, but in my most recent trainings, the word cue is more readily used. It's a fast-moving industry, trying to keep up with all of the different methodologies. I'm going to explain the method that I'm teaching you guys in. I explained that in that other video that I sent you that was just me talking, but there's many ways that you can train dogs. I like the way I'm going to be teaching you simply because we can see the value in some of the concepts of how a dog learns, that provides that reflection piece for you, that opportunity to learn self-awareness and all those different things that are really what training dogs can be all about, if you're not just trying to get the dog trained to do the skills. Anyway, so I'm going to get her to. So I used my energy in a more heightened way because she was sitting down there being very, very calm. And so I needed to get her up and running. So I used my own physical energy and the energy in my voice, the emotional energy, to get her to respond to me and get ready to actually work. Oops, sit. Good girl. So she just did it automatically. I didn't even have to say it. Good girl, but I need to reinforce it because she did what I asked her to do. So I'm going to get her to move again. Yeah, good girl. Sit. Yes, good girl. So I got her to move a little bit, and then I gave her the command sit. She did it lovely. And I used to mark the success, I used yes in a very high, friendly tone of voice. Dogs love that kind of energy and that voice. And so that's what we use to mark those successes. Okay, I'm going to reward her right now for this because, oh, okay, she got up and she moved around, which is perfect. So we're going to do, I've got the treat in between my fingers, and I'm going to just keep moving it in front of her nose. There we go. Chest on the ground, down. Good girl. I'm just going to repeat it. Down. Good girl. Good girl. Give her that encouragement with good girl. Down. So she's associating the word or the cue down with where her body is in space. Her chest is on the ground, and she's not rolling. She's just laying with everything forward. Good girl. Down. Yes. And then I'm going to end it with the yes and give her the treat for the reward. She did that very well. I'm very pleased. We're getting closer and closer. What you can do when you're working with the dogs is you can test to see where they might be progressing towards, and you might not even realize that they've come that far. So we do like to perform these little tests every once in a while. So I'm just going to ask her and see what she does. Juney. Juney. I'm going to get her attention first. Good girl. Juney. Good girl. Down. So I'm going to try targeting her without a treat. Down. Good girl. Down. Good girl. Good girl. Down. Yes. Good girl. Release. So that was better than I thought. All I had to do was give her the hand signal for down, and she didn't need to have the treat there. And we do want to phase the lure out as quickly as we can, because we don't want them to only perform because we're providing them with that food reward. We want them to do it because they love to please, and they like to hear us give them the verbal rewards, the petting and us being pleased with their behavior, and that nice thank you and good girl and all those encouraging words are really what we want them to work for. And at the end of the day, that's really what they want to work for. So often I will watch people with their animals, because I just love to watch, and they'll ask them to do something, and the dog will do it. I'll refer to dogs, and they don't say yes or thank you or any kind of, they don't give any positive, they don't pet them, they don't reward. And we all work for rewards. If you go to work, you expect to get that paycheck. Yes, it's nice to get verbal praise from your bosses, or that intrinsic reward of people really enjoying what you're doing for them or with them, or whatever your job may be. But we need a reward, and people just seem to miss that when they're working with their dogs. And we want to engage them and make them feel like they want to do more training, and they just love pleasing us. That's what they live for. So the other thing, just with the yes, I was doing the association training by including the cue down and petting her and giving her that opportunity to know that what she was doing was exactly what I wanted her to do. But I ended the loop of working on that skill by saying yes in that, good girl, yes. She looked at me, so I'm going to reward her. Good girl. By using that high voiced energy. Yes, good girl. And that's another way that you can actually train yes. I've done some of these things already with her, but I should really show you that. So you can just ask her to look at you. Judy, yes. good girl. So she begins to associate yes with the treat. I'm on the right track. This is what my owner wants me to do, and I'm a happy puppy. So I'm gonna do the next one is leave it at the very early stages. And I'm not adding the cue until I see the behavior. And it's a good place for me to add in ah, because ah is a correction. It tells the dog that they're not on the right track, but it also gives them the opportunity to think, to problem solve. What is it that I need to do to get this lovely, wonderful, warm, response from my owner? And they do want that, so they will try to figure out exactly what it is that we're looking for. So I'm going to do that here with her now. I'm going to put it down, cover the treat with my hand, and as soon as she moves her nose away, leave it. Good girl. Leave it. Good girl. Leave it. Good girl. Ah. Good girl. Leave it. Yes. And I'm going to give her a treat. It's a different treat than the one I had on the table, because at the end of the day, if we're walking by something in a mall or out on your walks and you ask them to leave it, you're not going to pick that up off the ground and give it to them. We don't want them to have it. So it just doesn't really make any sense. So I'm going to try that again. Leave it. Good girl. Leave it. Good girl. Good girl. And now she's looking at me, which is even better. Good girl. I'm going to take my hand away and see where we go with this. Good girl. Leave it. Leave it. Ah. Leave it. Leave it. Yes. Good girl. Good girl. What a good doggy. Oh my gosh, I'm so happy. She's really learning this beautifully. One more chance, and then we're going to end this session because training sessions shouldn't be too long, especially for young puppies. Leave it. Good girl. Leave it. Good girl. Leave it. Good girl. Leave it. Good girl. Leave it. Leave it. Good girl. Leave it. Good girl. Yes. Thank you. So I make mistakes. We all will make mistakes because we're working with a fluid animal and every single one of them is different. And it's like working with children as a teacher, or we have to think quickly. So I push too far, too long. And I tend to do that. I really have to check myself on that. I get so excited and here, baby, good girl, about their learning that I go too long. So I should have stopped sooner, but I didn't. And then she started to get more interested in the treat and I had to correct more often. You want to always leave it on a good note. Always, always leave your training session on a good note. And then they come back the next time. I set this table up this morning to do this video, and she was so excited to see the table because she loves to train. She loves that opportunity to work with me, to feel good about herself. I feel amazing right now because we had a great session. I'm feeling very good about myself. I know where I've gone wrong and the things that I can improve. I really saw how my energy got her up and going, but then when I want her to lie down and be quiet, and we use the word settle to be calm. I'm just so it just feels so good. It feels so good, and you will get this experience as well when you're working with your dog. Anyway, Juney, come say goodbye. Say goodbye. Say goodbye, honey. Bye-bye. Thank you. Thank you. What a good girl. Yes, you are. Until next time.